Ozo.
Because she hates me.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Oh.
Ozo banned first. This is going to probably force out a Lyra ban from, and leave a lot of heroes open. I don't know if Ozo is ban worthy as a first ban, potentially a second ban if you've got some insight into the composition or the enemy team. But as a first ban, it doesn't seem like a necessity. Let's see where they go with it.
It's not a good first ban at all. It's not good. If they pick up a Lyra, you'll want to take the Ozo away, yeah, but not on his own. He doesn't have the. I've gone over Ozo so many times. I sound like a broker. He doesn't have the power on his own. Yes, he does have some good early mid-game spikes. He's not a good snowballer here. He's okay. He can work. He can be extremely good. By all means, I've run him in ranked and he can destroy people. But at this level of play, without a healer, so many things can just mess him up. So he's not ban worthy. A lot of bonus time here being eaten up by the red team. Probably a little bit thrown by the Ozo ban, but at the same time, obviously leaving quite popular bans like Lyra and of the two, obviously, I'd probably recommend a Lyra ban. Adagio, we've seen, is strong, but he's definitely not as strong as a Lyra and can be beaten with that burst damage, can be nullified with the with things like Tarka and Fortress. And I do think that they're playing a risky game here, leaving so little time for the rest of their draft. Hopefully, they are connected and they are aware of what's going on here. B-side has connected, so hopefully they're thinking, all right, quickly, we've got 15 seconds, ban a Lyra. Which I think is the likely option. Maybe they've like bugged out. I think they're just so confused. I don't know.
Draft's been paused.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. It was
we're going to
Yeah,
I don't think they're connected efficiently.
See if we redo it again, and so we'll see that Ozo ban come in. I'm kind of hoping it was a mistake, but it's locked in now. So let's give them another shot to lock in something else. It's definitely, they have to ban a Lyra though. You can't let someone that powerful get through in this patch. Oh, by the way. Oh, I hiccuped. I was eating. Good combination, man.
Yeah, sorry, your mic was cutting out a little bit there.
Well, it better not be. I'm very upset now.
It's okay. We do see that the ban clock has again run down and they're starting to eat into bonus of time. We have been seeing a few issues with the B side, and that is the ban as expected. This is going to give the blue side their first pick, and they are obviously going to lock in that advantage, making sure not to give it over to the enemy team. Interesting to see where the red side go with this. What are your predicted picks up in this game?
We're obviously going to see the Lance because SEA have always run more comfort over counter picks, so it's really hard to tell because I don't know what everyone's comfort picks are. I mean, I would probably just to stay stable, I'd probably go for a Lance with a Fortress. Just for a jungle Fortress is what I would do, because you want that to nullify Adagio's healing like completely. You want the mortal wounds everywhere, and Fortress is so powerful. It's worth picking up, but he's more of a last pick. But they have gone for the Vox. So this gives them a chance to ban out something against them, like the Tackers, like your Black Feathers. So they could ban out Black Feather here, let them ban whatever they want, then they can pick up the Fortress Lance, and then they are A-okay to win this game.
Yeah, now we have been seeing some issues from the side as far as connection and things like that, but hopefully they are still connected. And they are going to ban out the Ringo. Having picked up the Fox, they want to deny the enemy team that other very notoriously strong pickup in lane. So it's going to be interesting to see whether we see a jungle-focused ban here, or if we see the Lance ban potentially.
I'd say a Lance ban would actually be a very good idea. I mean, it allows them to pick a few more mobile heroes, but Arden is still just as strong.
Yeah.
So I'd say a roam ban isn't the greatest. I'd say if they're going for a comp, ban a hero that destroys the comp, essentially, like a Tacker, someone like that. Because Black Feather destroys bots.
Yeah, I mean, well, maybe ban the Lance, pick up the Black Feather. Might be a valuable thing here, just because obviously against the Fox, locking them down with an difficult feat anyway against a well-played Fox, and it does allow them to pick up some more mobile heroes, such as said. Be interesting to see where they go with it though. Going with the Samuel, obviously, yeah, Samuel's a fair ban at this stage, both focusing the lane there. Samuel though, Mixed responses from Samuel. Alpha. What are your thoughts on Alpha, Billy?
Well, I think we all know the thoughts on Alpha. She's awesome! But this is going to be the first draft where a roamer has been picked last on B-side. So Piet's Alliance playing a game. They're playing mind games right now, so they've left their roam to last. I kind of want to see them pick up Lance and Arden, just say who don't get no roams. Just because, you know, weapon are really good. So they could do something with it. I kind of want to see it just for the sake of, you know, doing it. Not because it's very good, but just because I think it'd be very funny.
Yeah, no, I could. It sounds amusing, and to be fair, I will take an amusing position at this stage in the game, just because it's always fun to see teams play around with this. The Baron coming out. Ooh, we saw this used yesterday to great effect. What are your thoughts on Baron this patch?
I do love a bit of Baron. Baron he's been that hero that you kind of have to play well. He does have a lot of power, and he's a late game hero. But the problem is you can't, even though you do a lot of damage late game, you can't really let people get too close to you because of how slow he is and how much damage he seems to take because of how much offense you need, the little defense you find. So with a Vox, he'll destroy Vox if you can keep it at arm's reach. But if Vox gets inside his little porcupine mortar barrage with iron cannons and basic attack AoE everywhere, Vox would probably destroy him. So they have to be able to, with the Baron, you have to position really well, and he does gear towards more team play, so you won't really see him in a lot of solo ranked games. But it can be used really well, and I'm pretty sure Silver are the team to do it.
There's the Black Feather. That's a strong pickup for them. I think we saw them playing Black Feather yesterday.
Just a strong team. That's definitely going to be a Black Feather. Mm-hmm.
Both compositions are looking good. Both compositions look pretty good. I quite like to see I like the fact we're seeing a Baron, and I like the fact we're seeing a Black Feather, because they're always really interesting and enjoyable to watch, regardless. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the Arden at the end there is enough given their thing. I'm surprised we didn't see the Lance, but I suppose against a very mobile composition like Baron and Black Feather, landing impales might prove quite difficult.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it's worth it, I think, because they got the barrier, or they can lock down. The problem is, though, with the gauntlet, only Adagio can't really escape it too well without a reflex block. Baron and Blackfeather can both escape it without the need of a reflex block, so they're actually okay on that one. So I kind of think maybe Lance may have been a little bit better to lock them down, but for just those little boosts of extra speed to get Vox inside Baron's guard, to keep Alpha alive for that second longer than she needs to be, will be pretty. I think Arden is the best roam pickup here.
Yeah, I think the Vanguard's probably going to do it. You can probably with the Alpha for a lot of those aggressive dives under turret, etc. Just managing to keep them alive that little bit longer. I think we'll probably see that come into play quite a bit actually with this game. So we're into the blind pick now, and the teams are just getting their team sorted, and that's been nicely locked in, nice and quick there for them. So we'll be going through to game now. What are your predictions going into this game, Sketchbook?
I predict a riot. I predict a riot.
A riot.
That's the prediction. Copyright ID. But no, I do predict that Silver are going to wreck face. Obviously, with Alpha and how much damage you can do, like I said, it just takes one prime directive to change the scale of a fight. Like a well-placed prime directive can change a fight, as I just repeated myself. But it's going to be a little bit harder for the red team to get almost inside the guard of the blue side, because even though we're going to see Blackfeather probably being aggressive, more than likely going CP power, crystal power, sorry, I just see Silver winning, but with PH Alliance having a lot of opportunities to take the win, if you see what I mean. I think it'll be a close win.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as you said. I think we're either going to see a dominant game coming out from one of the, or we're going to, or it's going to be a really, really tough game, a really close game. I don't think we're going to see a middle ground where it jumps back and forward too much, but Cast a Curse probably dictates that's exactly what we're going to see now.
Exactly. Thank you. We just got informed that we believe that the stream has actually crashed, the stream screen, so you can still hear us, I believe, but you can't see what's happening. So we're going to be very descriptive. Baron just got ganked up by Arden, had to use his jump jets to get away, starting with his jump jets instead of his porcupine mortar. and it's just opting to clear the lane. Alpha actually being pushed out of jungle, taking barely any damage from Kilo, just hitting a few pokes. It's depression on the Black Feather, rotates up the left-hand side of the goldmine pit to go up the lane. Brian Directive just misses as the Gift of Fire goes, and he dives on top of the Arden actually to get into the lane, and now we see Baron trying to get some pokes from afar. Everyone's poking up Tamiya on the Alpha, just under a third of health, running away, back behind the turret, going back to her backs, I do believe, to try and clear up some farm, and now it's just back into a lane wave as they try and clear this lane. Sync one are going on to Kilo on the Arden. Arden just doing so much damage and will pick up the Adagio. For some reason, Lake Yang didn't actually put any suppressing fire down. He was just farming up those minions, and Sync One just took that opportunity and just destroyed his face. PH Alliance showing their dominance, and Lake Yang is going to take some damage from Wayham. Arden giving the gauntlet to Vox to try the Vanguard to Vox to keep him up, and Lake Yang almost falls to minion damage and Vox combined. Now, this is PH Alliance showing their dominance very early on in this game.
Yeah, some extremely aggressive players coming out there from PH Alliance. And we saw the Sync C1 on that Arden doing exactly as we kind of predicted, using that Vanguard to help position the Vox and the Alpha in a really good way and allow them to just get that little bit more damage off so those trades go a little bit more in their favor. Picking up that Adagio as well is going to be huge. I imagine he's going to be...
Excuse me, we predicted? I predicted? You didn't predict that.
Okay. Anyway, so carrying on. Now we see Wham in lane, clearing, and since One's still waiting in the wings, trying to make sure that his laner stays safe from the enemy team. I think that with Baron, he's going to be putting down a lot of poke, a lot of damage. And I feel that Wham is going to have to play the dodging game here quite effectively if he's going to stay relevant as far as any team fights happen. Because Lakian will probably try to aim to poke him down fairly effectively. Quick engage there from CC1 does see Lakian go down to half health, but that quick heal from Depression is going to put him back into, from Kilo is going to put him into a better place. Depression going fairly deep now into the enemy team. There's the engage coming out of Alpha. A lot of damage coming down. Big quick return damage from Depression. He's going really deep, bit too deep, and Arden is going to pick up the kill onto the Black Feather. That's going to be the second kill of the game going over to PH Alliance.
Yeah, that was a good fight there. Black Feather actually positioning himself quite well. Oh, Kilo Zin tried to go for the kill, just and everything, just messed up the start set. Sync one trying to just go for that kill, but he's not going to quite get it. Maybe he will, maybe Alpha will. Going to go for the Prime Directive, will pick up the kill. Lei King is a little bit slow on the retaliation, but when Baron ramps up, he doesn't really need to be too quick because he will just delete people by looking at them. But as I was saying, we do believe now that technical difficulties are over and you will be able to see the screen once again. So welcome back, viewers, and thank you for sticking around through that with us. But like I said, PH Alliance against Silver. I expected Silver to do a little, not too well in the early game because no one on their team is really that early. Maybe Adagio because of that heal he gets, but Baron most certainly not. Black Feather can do his bit, but he needs that mid to late game, Crystallite and Spike, and then he's going to start being completely awesome. So I'm going to see PH Alliance winning the start, but I believe they might actually lose the end of it.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree with you. I think that Baron in the late game could be as well as that Black Feather. And I think it's only a matter of time, almost like a sort of ticking time bomb as far as Black Feather is concerned, because we can see the early damage he was doing in those trades. He just went a little bit too deep, a little bit too aggressive, and he doesn't have necessarily the shielding and the speed up that the PH Alliance team are going to get from that Arden. I think we now see a fountain coming out on the Adagio. It does mean that both these teams are going to start looking for those serious team fights, and now they both have their fountain. PH Alliance obviously had their fountain slightly earlier. Could have probably utilised that a little bit more and pushed for that aggressive team fight, knowing the enemy team didn't have that level of sustain. But we do see a good slow and a good bit of damage coming down onto 61, and he's going to be legging it into his jungle. Both teams at this point playing really not passive, but just kind of reaffirming their roles, firing up a little bit and waiting for that next opportunity.
Yeah, the thing Kilo needs to start doing though is buffing the Baron, or even the Black Feather. He can't keep buffing himself in these fights because Rome, they can do damage, but at the end of the day, they're not there to do damage. They're there to keep their other teammates alive and to help position them in ways that help or disrupt the enemy team. So if he buffs himself, that is kind of a little bit counterintuitive. It helps in the early game, but giving it a Baron at this stage of the game would probably be even more beneficial. But then it looks like they're going to poise for a fight, and Alpha goes in with the core charge, but gets pushed away immediately. Wham coming across, taking some massive damage to Baron. Here we go, Baron's starting to really clear the damage out right now. Wham actually has to rotate down to the bottom bush. He tries to go in, Sync 1 going to push back, and Lake Yang doing so much damage. Depression that he needed to do is throw up an on point, and then he was good. He didn't need to do anything else. Just forcing PH Alliance under the turrets just for fear of their own lives. That's how I'm going to see the rest of this game turning out. It just feels like it's going to start to become more and more slightly one-sided. And then we'll have one fight where Vox just kills Baron, and then it just goes downhill for Silver for a little bit, and then Silver bring it back. That is my overall prediction. That's my epic prediction of the game.
I'm curious about something. Obviously, rocket launch passive deals AoE damage. Does the buff from Adagio apply to everyone that it hits?
I don't see why it shouldn't, but I think it would just apply to the original basic attack, because it is essentially a perk. I don't think it would apply to the perk. I think they would have patched that out, or that's just a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, because, well, the weapon damage applies to the target, initial target, and the surround. So
I think it does do slightly reduced damage on the AoE, so it may not actually affect it. I'm not sure if it's 100% damage on the AoE.
It does reduce damage to lane means, but I don't believe it does heroes. It's 130% damage.
We'll have to talk to Minnie, because he probably knows. He is our mathematical whiz. I can't even speak. Doesn't even. What word am I looking for? How do you pronounce it? Mathematical. Mathematical. That's mathematical. I don't even know what I was trying to say. It doesn't matter, but yeah, there was a little skirmish in lane. Nothing really too much, but we're starting to see the power of Baron. He has his Sorrow Blade. He's working towards that breaking point, and we see Wham almost at his Tyrant's monocle are also sitting on a breaking point. So it's both carries kind of sitting kind of even. We got Vox sitting here at 87 CS to guess what? Baron's 87 CS. So these carriers are going toe to toe with each other right now.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, there's a slight kill advantage over the PH Alliance, but without any serious objectives being taken down, it's still really anyone's game. And I think we're still going to see that opportunity for either one of these teams to really spiral out of control. And the longer the PH Alliance leave this, the stronger Silver are going to get. And we're just waiting for that huge team fight where we really see the strength of Silver. Gauntlet is thrown down though. We do see Gekian taking a lot of damage. Down comes Burst of Judgment. That is going to do a good amount of stunning and damage. Depression, meanwhile, in the backline on that Black Feather, doing great work. There's the re-engage from 61. From Tomiya. 61 doing a good job of keeping Tomiya up with Kilos in. Like an Alpha needed help keeping up with someone, and Kilos in is going to be going down as well to Tomiya. There comes Depression though. He's healed up a little bit. He's there. He's got his shields. He's doing great damage in return. 61 is going to manage to stay alive. Tomiya, meanwhile, is going to be trying to do what he can. There's the ultimate pop. Prime Directive is going to go there, but he is going to cost him his life as he is still. And that is going to be him going down in return. There's the shutdown onto the Alpha from the Black Feather. Good play there.
Yeah, because there's something some people don't know actually about Alpha. It's whoever puts her into Infinite Reboot gets credit for the kill, not whoever actually kills her. So there you go. So if you want your gold from Alpha, get her into Infinite Reboot and then kill her, and you'll be given the kill regardless if you get the last hit or not. So boom. Hashtag 21 facts of the sketchy Brit. You only get one, not 21. Don't even know where I'm going with that. Let's have a look at the builds though, because Barrett, we see actually Blackfeather putting the semi-tanky CP Blackfeather, which is okay. Not a fan, but he has gone for that Alice Polden, which is sorely needed against the box. You only really need an alternating current to really take on a box with no defense as a Blackfeather, so he should be okay for now. Do we see? Oh, but it looks like Vox is pushing up on this lane. I have to hold my build analysis for a while. Baron can actually jump over the wall to help clear the lane. Blackfeather's rotating. Alpha's still on her medic minion as Wham comes down to steal it as I had a hiccup. So it looks like we're going to have a little passive mid game here, and maybe they're going to start going for it in the late game. It looks like they're trying to poise to get this turret now. Going to rotate back through. Will we see a fight? Wham jumps over the wall. They start putting some damage down on the turret. 61 with the blood for blood onto Kilo. And here comes Tomiya with the Prime Directive in just with the heel of Baron. And now we're seeing Baron just try and put some damage on whoever he can. Try to build up those breakpoint stacks. He's already at 5. He's on 6. He won't be able to get any more for a while, I don't think. So he's just going to have to clear this lane. And we're just going to see little skirmish pokes from here on out now. But I do think this turret is looking more and more like it's going to be Silver.
Yeah, still have a really good composition here for sieging, and it gave PH the Alliance the go-ahead to quickly engage there. We do see the orbital strike missing there, and a lot of damage going on. Tomiya doing great work in the back. Stunned underneath the turret. Really good stun there, and it is gonna. He really didn't want that to land.
He did, because he would have killed Baron straight out. That would have been amazing if that would have landed. And it would have got the turret easy.
Yeah, but anyway, so they're now taking the turret. So let's
get it anytime soon. No, he won't be. Oh, but Dagio does though. The pressure will fall here to the Arden actually. See, well, this is what happens if Baron gets called out. The team just starts to fall now.
Yeah, unfortunate. Therefore, the Lekian on that Baron, but really good play for PH Alliance to capitalize on that bad. He was deleted instantly, and we do see PH Alliance managing to turn our attention now to Gold Miner. What's really interesting to see is just how well the PH Alliance team are synergizing in these engages. They seem very focused on what their goal when they go into these team fights. They don't feel like spontaneous team fights. They feel like organized and tactical team fights. And I think that's really nice to see coming out of a team like PH Alliance. You can see that there is a bit of forethought, that it's not just a case of, oh, this person's here, go for it. It's a case of, right, what we're going to do is the next team fight, we're going to do this.
They always seem to get some kind of strategy is always better than no strategy whatsoever. Unless you're so far ahead, it doesn't even matter. But we see here that Baron he seemed to fall behind in his build a little bit as he picked up his Tyrants now. Vox already sitting on his double Tyrants and breaking point. But we see here Baron is actually sitting at 152 CS to Vox's 150. He's slowly crept ahead, but it's so close anyway. Both of them have such great CS numbers. So the carries themselves giving you so close, and Kilo actually blocking the making him get away from this time, saving. He's jumped in for the right time. Wayham does take a stray basic attack. Tommy are doing so much damage, but taking a lot of damage right back out. King really wants to go in here, but he's setting himself up to get gauntleted, and they're all just going to back up at this point. Depression actually go for the on point. Wayham kind of saw it coming, and Sonic zooms out of the way, and that was a kind of an unsuccessful engage on the part of PH Alliance, but really great defense coming out from Silver, showing that they still are not out of this by any means, shape or form now.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was a bad engagement with PH Alliance. I just felt like it was such a really good defense coming out from Silver there. The block from the Adagio did a real good. Was it Adagio or was it Lekian?
It was Adagio who blocked it.
Yeah, Adagio blocked the prime direct. That was a really nice play from him, because it really forced Alpha to kind of rethink the strategy. Bought them a lot of time to reposition, and meant that they managed to get a successful defense of that turret without it taking really any damage at all. And now with the team very grouped together, they can start thinking about what they're going to be doing next. They haven't got much in the way of vision though. I've got to point out this time again, they are starting to put some scout traps down now. Kilo's trying to do it. That's immediately spotted out by a flare. But yeah, they don't really have any control over the Kraken area or jungle. And with that turret down as well, the PH Alliance doing a good job of keeping the lane pushed for the most part, so that they can maintain that control. And it's going to force Silver to go into these team fights mostly in a blind position.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it does. The thing with the red team though is Alpha's the only one with global abilities that show everything, because she is because when she has a core charge, her whole sword lights up. The cactus crashes. The pressure is actually surviving. The pressure comes in, doesn't stun anyone. The pressure walks into the side of the gauntlet. Baron's on the side of the pool trying to do what he can with the damage, but he's not going to be able to do too much. Tommy is on the top of him. He actually boosts away. Here comes the 45 mules to slow down Sync 1, but it doesn't slow down. The Alpha, the one he actually wants to slow down, is going to take a lot of damage on the turret. As Vox did manage to pick up the kill on the Adagio, he's going to back away with the Prime Directive over the turret. Will land, but Tommy will go down. But will the turret do enough damage? Let's find out. Going to go out of turret range, but will take a massive amount. 520, is that max? Let's find out. 520. Gives another one. She's surviving just slows, but that was definitely a well worth it ace. There's a turret. They're going to poise themselves to Kraken, I bet, and that could be. I could be wrong with my prediction. I could be madly wrong, Mal. I could be madly wrong.
Wow, you being wrong. that was an impressive level of that. But yeah, you being wrong with a thing, that's such a rare thing.
I can taste your sarcasm. Taste it.
Is it bitter and salty? But yeah, no.
Oh wow.
but yeah, so we see the Kraken being picked up. That was such an aggressive dive for coming out from Tommy. It went crazy deep, and it's nice to see these big aggressive plays from PH Alliance paying off for them and securing that ace. Depression just back in there, make sure he's going to get any little last items or maintain any health. And we're going to see how well Silver can make a defense of this of this turret versus the three members of PH Alliance and the Kraken, as we see the Porcupine Moors start raining down on the Kraken.
Yeah, if he can just save them up, just keep them zoned out, just keep pressuring the Kraken. Because Kraken's going down faster than the turret is. Alpha realised that. He dives in. A-King has to try and get our way out of there. Tommy is really diving this right now. Now I think that's a good spot there to do damage to get completely done. Here comes the ion cannon. They will land directly on Kraken. So that was actually, I don't think he intended he did that, but it did work out in his favour as the barrier comes out from the Ardent of Vanguard as Alpha actually dives in with the front direct to try and get some damage. That's run around the main crystal as 61 will die to the turret explosion. I saw that coming, that's not good. That's going to allow that Kiang and all these guys to do the damage with Vox versus Kiang. You can see him winning. No way! The turret explosion actually picks up the kill on the Vox. This is a perfect position for Alpha to be in. Blackfeather is up in 2 seconds. Can Blackfeather come in and save this game? Alpha has damage, but does she have enough? Let's find out. It's going to be close. Can they do anything right now? Will Sylvia do it? Yes, he will with the Prime Directive. Oh, 2 deaths by turret explosion. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Alpha taking the Vein Crystal for PH Alliance, and we can safely say that hashtag Sketchy was wrong.
Yeah, really, really exciting. PH Alliance, really well played. Tommy are doing great work there to finish off that Vein. And yeah, that's just really solid compositions across the board, but I don't feel like the Silver comp ever really got a chance to kind of find its feet and get to the place in the game where it needed to be to really dominate. But yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts as far as the gameplay was concerned?
My thoughts were that PH Alliance are awesome. End quote.
Cool.
That's all I've got there. Although I do want to point out one brilliant fact is how well the carries farmed and how well they played. Like the amount of pressure Lake King was on, it was feeling like a 2v3 at times where Blackfeather would just get completely destroyed or like start of every fight, it'd always be called out, always be a little bit out of position. And Lei Qiang sitting at 193 CS, and Vox only had 190. Only had 190, but you can see how close it was at 18 minutes, 20 seconds into the game. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he was. And to be fair, the entirety of PH Alliance played. I think Tommy has 61 when they all played their roles perfectly throughout that game, and it was like I said, similar to what we saw with Infamous in the previous game. There was really good, obvious synergy between the members of the team. They played well, they played coherently, and they were clearly acting with a game plan and with knowing exactly what they need to do in that game to win it. They converted their objectives perfectly, so when they did manage to secure those aces or get themselves in a position where they had the advantage, they really pressed that advantage perfectly, and I think that's what won them the game inevitably.
Say that again, sorry?
We're ready for the draft.
Get ready for the draft. I thought you said we were offline. I was completely confused there. Is that our stream's over? Okay.
The draft is not up on the thing yet. Oh, there it is.
I don't know. There we go. We got the draft ready. We're ready and waiting. Let's see if we actually have a nice timer now. Let's see if we get a nice countdown so I can actually do my intro. What do you think, Mal? Will I get that luxury?
No, you probably won't.
No, I probably won't at all. We'll get a
it's
quick
probably,
3, 2, 1 draft.
It's probably already in draft. It's probably already on the draft page by now.
Mrs. Producer Lady, are we ready? Are we ready for the awesome draft? Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. She's not talking to me. I think we've broken up. Oh, we got 1 minute. We got 1 minute to draft. So, Mal, in that 1 minute, we're gonna talk to our viewers for a second. We're gonna get some bets going down. Will the crowd favorite PH Alliance win this next game, or will it be Silver just on the weight of their names and the performance in the last match? Mal, who do you think? Do you have redemption for Silver? What do you think?
I really do want this to go to a third match. I kind of want Silver to take this one. I want to see that commanding team back in action and see if they can really get themselves back into it. So I'd like Silver to win this game. I'd like it to go to a third game.
I would genuinely like this set to go to a third game, because if they win this, like I said, I told you there'd be no middle ground. It would be one-sided or extremely close. They're like complete back and forth. So I kind of hope this game is a complete back and forth into, a third game where it's exactly the same with that, because back and forth games are some of the best content to watch. So hopefully we'll get one of these games to you. So looks like we're about to go into the draft. So let's hope I can time this up very well. So without further ado, let's go into the draft.
The draft
Oh,
begins.
beautiful, beautiful time, and we are into the draft, and the countdowns have started. So, 20 seconds already. They've got to pick their first ban. Are we going to see the normal Lyra bans in that lot, or do you think we may see that Alpha ban coming out today?
Well, I think first ban we don't necessarily know, because it's going to force the enemy, which means you can predict their ban. Picking something that you really just don't want to face against would be quite maybe favourable for the blue side at this point. Something that you know is strong, that you just really don't feel that your team can deal with very well. Because it's very predictable that the second ban is going to be a Lyra. If they don't ban it, you know it's your first pick. So I think more a case of something you think, you know what, I don't want to play against this. Not necessarily because it's overly strong or because the enemy team are good with it. More a case of you don't deal with it very well as a team, or the composition you've got in mind would be completely upset by this hero. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go with this.
Because these team A shouldn't ban Alpha because they play really well there. It probably won't see our team B, but I think we may have an issue with the team A side again because they've eaten a lot of bonus time. So,
yeah, they have. I'm assuming a restart on the on probably very shortly, and we'll see these teams actually get into their bans. I would see the A side is now connected, and they actually do ban out Lyra first. So this time again, forcing the Adagio ban, essentially, or making them build their compounds and countering the Adagio. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I kind of did not expect the Lyra first ban, just because it would potentially give them an opportunity to pick it if the enemy team refused to ban.
Yeah, so there we go. We do that. I think it will just be the book standard Adagio ban, but they're probably tossing up between Adagio and Lyra for first ban. Adagio and Alpha. But they've gone for the Vox. Oh, they found the Vox more dangerous than the Alpha and Arden. I thought the Vox was the least dangerous thing about their comp.
I suppose it's difficult to appreciate maybe how much the Vox was doing in that last game, because obviously Alpha was such a prominent force and so in your face as far as PH Alliance were concerned. They were doing such a good job, and we do see the Adagio picked up in response. Leaving that healer open does give them a subtle advantage, especially in that early laning phase where those heals are so helpful.
Yeah, so I wonder what they'll return with that one. I mean, PH Alliance last game picked their roam last, so maybe they'll continue that trend. But I tell you who won't be doing that. That's Silver, who picked up the Arden first and just moved straight onto their ban, the second ban of the game. Do you think we'll probably see the Alpha ban now? Do you think this is when the Alpha ban will come?
Yeah, I think potentially an Alpha. Given the last play, I'd say Alpha. But then I think we'll see something like a Koshka come out to play, potentially here. So it's going to be whether it's a target ban or whether it's again more ban playing more with the meta. Something like a Ringo, or allowing maybe them picking the Ringo potentially would be a smart option here, given that Vox has been banned. There may be a Samuel also. We've seen Samuel banned a couple of times, but then it's the Ozo again. Again, I'm unsure why Ozo's being prioritized so much.
That's actually a better ban now because they have Adagio. And Adagio does a nice heal anyway, and with an Ozo, it's like half health. It's quite a lot of healing you can get back, and with the sustain as well, because with an Adagio you definitely want to run weapon power because of the buff you get with Ozo. That's someone I recommend. You can run CP with Lyra, but with Adagio you want to run that weapon power Ozo, and it is ridiculously scary. But they have got the glaive, so they're looking to ban out someone, I don't know, who is weak to glaive, like a Samuel. But there is the Alpha. They didn't ban her because they wanted her. They want that powerful Alpha on their side, and I'm pretty sure PH Alliance predicted that.
Yeah, I'm thinking potentially a Ryan here would work well. Would a Sky work out? We haven't seen much play from Sky here.
I like Sky into Alpha, but Minnie's like, oh no, Alpha. No, Fee was like Sky, but it looks like they're going to follow what I said. Yes, Sky does count to Alpha. I will stick that. I don't care what Fee or Minnie say. Sky is good into Alpha. I will say it.
Well, I always feel that if you can time the death from above, you can really kind of ruin an Alpha style. And similarly, I think after the initial engage from the Alpha, if you then get yourself out of that position, taking a full barrage to the face on an Alpha is never good.
Yeah, because especially for any kind of hero, really. But there's Ringo.
Cool. So they're going to be relying.
But bind there, they need someone like Attacker, but they'll go for the Gwen because disadvantages are a great thing.
I feel that at the moment.
I'm not sure on Gwen.
Yeah, well, I think that at the moment the main weapon carries that we're looking at are Vox, Ringo, and Gwen is kind of that sort of if Vox and Ringo are A tier, then Gwen is kind of at the top of B tier as far as laning heroes are concerned for the weapon, especially for weapon power. And having picked up the Alpha, obviously Alpha could potentially play weapon power, but we've seen it mostly being utilised as CP throughout this tournament thus far.
Yes, CP Gwen is my personal favourite hero to play. If I'm ever going troll picks, I always just pick CP Gwen. I don't even care because I find her so much fun, so much damage. But we are going into the Halcyon Fold, Mal. Oh, I'm excited. You excited?
I'm damn excited. I think this is going to be a really good game. Both of these teams we saw played extremely well in that last game, but we did see PH Alliance pushing to victory with the use of that Alpha. This time we've got that happening all over again, and is it going to be the same situation again? That's this time it's over on the opposite team. Are they going to be the one with the are they going to be the one with the Alpha that's doing all the work, or are PH Alliance, having utilised Alpha effectively, going to be able to counter-pick or counter-play against her very well?
Well, I hope that it does go to a third game. I kind of hope it goes back and forth. You said that yourself, didn't you? And that we really want that third game. So the game has started now. Now, why don't you talk us through what's happening?
Well, we're seeing a grouped together, the PH Alliance, actually invading the enemy jungle. That early Treant in the back line there, as well as the fronts from the enemy team. So noting the rotation of the enemy team in these early stages, knowing they haven't started at their fronts and they've started at their backs and that sort of things. We do see that they kind of ignored the Treant, 61 and Tomia, avoiding those guys as we see Silver basically just taking this Treant free of their own accord. Meanwhile, in lane, we have seen Wayne doing a good amount of damage against Lekien, but the burst of Lekien starting to come through as well. Heal quickly from 61 is going to allow a little more damage, but the rest of Silver have pushed up into lane. And meanwhile, Sky has been doing her rotation in the jungle, has her level 2 as well. We see depression engage hard onto Wham. Wham going extremely low. Is he going to die from the thing? I think the heals of 61 actually keeping him alive there. It's a great play, but that was a huge burst of damage there onto Wham.
So, even though that just happened, and I want to talk about the game, I just want to talk about what just happened to me. Very awkward thing. I just went to go take a laptop upstairs, like all nice stuff because I'm being a nice boyfriend, and I slipped on the floor. I've got a massive gash in my thumb, raised up my arm, and caught the laptop with one hand and my phone in the other, like a jumping artist. It was awesome. But
Do you need to pop away for a couple of minutes to?
I'm actually. It's not as bad as I say. Wham.
Well, I think Wham is AFK.
Yeah, they're very important. Like maybe not. Okay.
Lekien was like, hell to the no.
And they're gone. Ow. And so, now they're just pushing forward. Sync 1 just trying to hold the lane best he can. Wham has respawned, but it does look like he is AFK. My phone is actually cracked. Ow, wow, I didn't say how bad that was.
Okay.
I'm so stupid. But anyway, Sky's rotating into the lane now to help clear it. Safe Yang trying to get the kill on Sync 1. But unfortunately, PH Alliance are known for having a few lag issues, and it looks like they have happened here today. And there is the pause. Within the rules, you are allowed exactly, I believe, 2 minutes of pause time per game per team. So you can hit a total of 4 minutes of pause time. So I'm pretty sure we're just going to wait for Wham to get back in the game, and then we will be getting started now. Because this game, unfortunately, due to that AFK, is kind of leaning now into the signs of PH Alliance. But team-wise and coordination-wise, it's leaning towards the side of Silver, sorry. But PH Alliance not out of this. They have a little bit of a chance, but I would say almost a weaker team. But we've seen in Vainglory 8 and Tesseract history, we've seen PH Alliance come back from a lot worse than this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, we've spoken before about PH Alliance. I mean, you saw how well they played last game, and we know for a fact they are one of the veteran teams here within the SEA region. They know what they're doing, and I think that as far as you know, if we looked in the lane early, we did see Wham and Lekien trading, and most of those trades actually going in favour of Lekien, but the Adagio keeping Wham at a slightly healthier point was literally the turning factor in that. But I think if we do get to see Lekien get to that late game stage on this Gwen, Ringo, you know, the AoE slow as well from her buckshot is just going to actually be a really big factor as far as locking down these heroes.
Yeah, because to be able to slow them, say if she gets a really good buckshot bonanza just on the sky in her mid-movement peak, and that prime directive lands onto a sky, that could be Sky's day over. That can make Sky having a good day into a bad one. So there you go. And we're probably coming up to the 2-minute counter now. So we got to hope that Wham is actually back in the game, because due to a tournament rules, we can't give them any more time than 2 minutes. So it would be bad. It would be bad for PH Alliance, unfortunately, but hopefully they do have subs just in case. So this game isn't written off yet, because Wham, we saw he is a fantastic laner. He could bring this one back. If anyone could bring it back, it's Wham, or Wiham, however you pronounce his name.
Yeah, no, I think we know that PH Alliance in previous tournaments and in other games. So hopefully this situation will get resolved for them. And we will have Wham back in thing.
Here we go. We've started, and is he back?
No movement thus far. In fact, we have, I was going to say, I thought the Adagio had got AFK then.
That would have been awkward.
Well, it would have been really awkward for Tomia. But yeah, we do see now that PH Alliance obviously down a team member while Wham gets his connection resolved. Hopefully, a quick restart of his mobile device will see that right. We do see Cincy1 and Tomia doing a good defense, despite it being 2 versus 3. Alpha at the moment currently just purely in their own jungle, so not taking advantage of the fact that Sky's having to be in the lane and utilising her jungle as well. So that's to the slight benefit of PH Alliance at this point in the game.
Yeah, which it's always good, because obviously it seems to be the early rotations, because people are scared of your crystal. Your crystal sentries. Your crystal sentries, but it looks like Ringo is back anyway. I mean, you don't see a lot of early aggression, even when the crystal sentries aren't there. I'm still this patch going in like first rotation into the enemy's jungle if I've got the stronger early game hero, just to keep them down. Because in this patch, if you win the jungle, you win the game. We've seen it happen time and time again in Vainglory 8 today. So I don't see why aggression isn't a thing. With a Sky against an Alpha, I would expect the Sky to be living in Alpha's jungle, especially early game. So, but Wham's trying to poke away Lei Qiang, and look at that, he's come back. He hasn't got as much farm, but he is definitely trying to go toe-to-toe with someone who is definitely doing a lot more damage than him, but he is outskilling Lei Qiang and showing his more veteran status.
Yeah, Wham has come back with the vengeance. He's taken out all anger that he has at his internet service provider, taking it out on the enemy. Coming back straight up that lane and taking down Lei Qiang to a half health. In that initial trade. Do you see the fountain now coming out for Cincy1? The AFK's not really cost Wham too much. He is about 20 CS down, but at this early stage in the game, he's got plenty of opportunity to pull that back throughout the rest of the game. Not really seen that gold lead transitioning over to kills for Silver thus far, although we have seen 2 big items just picked up, with Gwen picking up a Sora Blade and the Aftershock on the Alpha. It does mean the next team fight is going to be slightly more painful for PH Alliance. Whether they've realised that or not, it's coming. Those crits coming out onto Wham by Lei Qiang were huge there, but that heal from Cincy1 was much needed.
I actually don't think those were crits.
Wow.
I think those were just empowered. One of them was an empowered base tank, and one was not. But because Wham is a little bit, just one level behind and less damage, just so much more. But yeah, those I think crits have little exclamation marks next to it, because that was just a normal attack. But now they're going in, and Tommy is taking a lot of damage. It's a fantastic sewage strike on the like, you probably saw the numbers there. I did not, but that was probably under 10 health.
Yeah, I can't see the numbers now because it healed up slightly, but I didn't look at the time. I should have, but I'm pretty sure that was I'd say under 10, or at least close to it. But yeah, no, good play there from Silver to kind of push PH Alliance that low. We do see in the jungle now Alpha and Depression. Sorry, Alpha is Depression. Alpha and Kilo even doing their rounds, taking away as much jungle as they can and putting down as much vision as they can. And like you said earlier, you win the jungle, you win the game. And I think getting that early vision down and getting an early dom over the jungle is essential, especially once you take down that first turret. Once you've got that first turret pushed, Kilo in lane taking a lot of damage there from Wayam and CC1 will be safe underneath his turret though for now. But whether that stays that way or not is going to be interesting.
Yeah, because the big thing now is that Gwen here, as his ultimate, Wayam is still a full level down. He will not have his ultimate for a few more lane waves, actually. I would even recommend leaving him to solo farm for a little bit, hyper farming him a little bit, just so he gets that ultimate back, like kind of making up for lost time. So, as of right now, Upall Wayam is going to struggle just for a little bit, but when I can see him getting a lot stronger, because Ringo gets undeniably strong as the game goes on. So, early game, they're definitely going to struggle because of that AFK, but don't hold your breath, because I can definitely see this turning to PH Alliance side.
Yeah, I definitely would not rule out PH one little bit. Ringo, we've seen Ringo being utilized so well during this patch, and he's been very popular pickup just because he's just an overall strong hero. His late game is particularly good, especially when he's got things like the heal from that 61's going to provide. That buff from Adagio is not so effective in the late game, but it's going to allow Wayam to get to that really good stage that he needs to throughout the early and mid stages of the game, and just allow him to trade out that little bit better with that Gwen.
Yeah, but Sync 1, he looks like he really wants to try and steal this goal, but if he steals it, I'm legitimately going to be proud. But here's the goal, here's the judgment of Gwen exits straight away, and Sync 1 something against the wall. This will be a death for Sync 1, but no, he found, but he survived. Up above him, he's going to come out, it will land on the 88, and he goes to the death of Wayam. That is not good for him. Sky's trying to get the full barrage. He is landing onto Arda, but that gift of fire saved Wayam's life. The brightness of this wasn't good. Down will go. Down will go the Adagio, and now we're seeing that Kilo will fall to the Lyra, but it doesn't look like Alpha will. They didn't focus on Alpha, and now it's going to be Tomia versus Depression. I'm pretty sure Tomia is going to win this one, but can he catch her? That is going to be the question. The full barrage misses, so Depression is going to get away from this one quite easily. So there we go. That was, I think if they would have focused on Depression, that would have been better gold for them. But oh, Wayam didn't expect that. Wayam's going to fall. There's a nice three strike, but up from the depth of above, and there is a really good Aegis high landing with Tomia, stunning him, but they can't, because of the really good defense in the depth from above, they couldn't captivate on it, so they're going to have to go back and farm. Mao, that was quite an intense fight that went good and bad for both sides.
Yeah, we saw initially Silver taking down that Vein Crystal. Sorry, you still hurt taking down that Gold Miner even. The Versus Judgment was attempted by they just took it down. They just took it down with their minds.
I'm just going to die now. I'm just going to give up.
Yeah, no. We saw them take down the Gold Mine. The Versus Judgment did come out, but it was stunned up by the Gauntlet. We then saw a really good Death Buff coming out from Tomia, who did manage to survive the team effectively and get some good stuns off. There comes the Death from the Buff now, as Depression is doing the rounds and taking it down another kill. In fact, Depression is going to go into his passive. Meanwhile, Gwen will pick up the kill onto the Ringo. Tomia now the focus. Kilo looking very healthy and lacking in the background.
Oh.
There's a bit of damage. There's an ace, and that is going to be Silver taking an ace, and they're immediately turning their attention to the enemy jungle. The Gold Miner only on about half full at the moment, but that turret's still looking prime for the taking, and that is going to be the first turret of the game going over to Team Silver.
That was a really good fight, like catching out, because that still started from a buckshot announcer to the enemy side jungle. They saw the Adagio and just captivated. They just completely destroyed him. He got a last heal off just before he died to slow them, but it wasn't enough. Even though the Death from Above landed onto Alpha, Ringo just didn't seem to output enough damage and just died. But there's a fantastic gauntlet. Wayam just gets, wow! There was great. I think I saw one for 358 on just a normal attack. That is really good. She is sitting on a Sora Blade breaking point and almost has the Tyrants, only like just 150 gold off it now. So this is looking more and more like Silver's game. And I hate to say it like that, but it isn't over until the Vein Crystal's destroyed. Yeah,
we saw for a fact in previous games that we've seen today, in fact yesterday, where teams could look like they're making a comeback, but it only takes one effective team fight, that one missed item proc, to really swing things. And if the team are playing well and have good knowledge and map awareness, they can, an ace can quickly turn into a gold mine and 2 turrets, or a Kraken and a Vein Crystal even. So these teams, they're not to be underestimated, and the game is definitely not over until that Vein Crystal is gone, because these teams will take advantage of every situation they can to try and re-establish themselves as winners of the game.
Well, at least now Ringo has his breaking point, and it looks like he's actually building towards that Aegis. I would 100% sell my potions, just build a Minion's Foot, just to have a little bit of extra crit damage when I need to fight. Because just a tiny amount's going to help. But oh, Sky's in a bad spot. Sky looks like she's going to get just collapsed upon. She will. Everything is being used, but amazing depth from above. Fountain heals everything. Way into the music target. He's just able to run away as the full brush is coming in. There's a fantastic prime directive, and that will be Tomia going down to the damage from Sky. But Lake Yang's really trying to go in right now. Ringo's a little bit even too scared just to fight. That's a good position for Lake Yang to be in right there, but Waya just had to run away that entire fight. Wasn't even able to get too much damage off at all. They really want to go in. They really want to try and get some extra kills here, but I think they'll just be stuck with a kill on the Sky. They'll be going back. Depression and Ringo going back to base there, and that is a dangerous position to be in from PH Alliance. Just to be, anytime they show up, you have to run away. It's always a very scary position to be in.
Yeah, I definitely, having been in that position a few times, it's not a great place to be. And the Sky did a really good job of disengaging there. You saw the death from above coming out, but what I'd like to point out is there was a beautiful crucible there from Kilo as well, in response to it, that managed to ensure that Depression that could further engage and keep it going. Really good play from both sides there. 61 getting a good fountain and heal off onto the Sky to allow them to keep fighting back, but the But Depression just so strong on that alpha, and really forcing a lot of defensive moves out of the PH Alliance team.
Yeah, and there they are. They're stealing a mid medic now from the blue side. They're rotating back through the blue side jungle. They haven't taken the Crystal Sentry yet. By the way, Golden's taking it now. And we see Sky taking a back medic and then just putting back a little bit. There's a prime directive. Amazing. Sky 541 damage again. Stun in the corner, and that is Tomia dead. Trying to switch back around to the corner, and he's going back in with another fantastic prime directive. We're seeing Wim trying to survive. He can't even fight. He can't even do the nice first judge will come in, but it was blocked by Lake Yang, and down will go Ringo and Adagio. And this game is looking more and more like it's in Silver's pocket.
Yeah, Depression just waiting for Kilo to tank a couple of turret shots, use that. And now they're coming back to the actual turret, currently still standing, rather than being in almost the base of the enemy team. Depression really going and committing on these kills and successfully landing that ace there previously is going to do a lot of work for them. Tomia trying his best. There's a death from above. Depression is going to. There's a good block coming up from Lake Yen. Kilo is slowed. Hellfire Brew does land though, and that is going to be Depression going very low. But there's a fountain proc from Kilo. Kilo does manage to get up before dying. There's going to be the ultimate proc from Depression. Can Depression get onto her? No, it's not going to be the case. 61 is right in the middle there. You see the ace and the... Oh, God. That was such a good ultimate coming out of Lake Yen, completely unexpected. Huge damage. 61 is going to go down as well to Alpha. And now we do see Lake Yen taking a full forward barrage from Tomia. It needs to be very careful because those crits are hurting now from that Gwen. Crystal Sentry doing what he can to try and take out those enemy invaders. And he's going to back and heal himself up as a result. But they are going to be too low to take this gold mine before Kraken spawns.
That's a really cute thing I just noticed. That was a really good fight. I want to talk about it, but I don't at the same time because I just realised Crystal Sentries port back to base when they get injured.
Yeah,
it makes me happy. No,
I think if you get them under half health and they don't take any damage or they don't fight anyone for 5 seconds, I think they then decide to port back.
That's awesome. I like that. That's just like so cute. Like they're actually now they're as strong as heroes now, so they might as well port back home and heal. So there we go. Or do they port back into the Abyss and the new Crystal Sentry takes their place? Dark Law. I'm sorry, but yeah, game is happening. Gwen has picked up a weapon infusion now, and they're just starting on the Kraken as it starts to pressure. It's going to help with that one. Kilo just doing his tanky thing, and I don't even think Blue Team is going to want to even contest this. They're not even going to bother at this stage. I don't even think they actually know that they're taking it. They don't know.
Absolutely zero vision. they've not had the opportunity to press out into jungle for such a long time now. Silver managed to keep them so well at bay with these team fights and established a perimeter around Kraken that they're just absolutely no vision or control for the side of PH Alliance. So I think Silver, they felt very confident taking that Kraken, knowing what had just happened and having vision of a couple of the members of PH Alliance already anyway. Just allows that. So Boots picks up now for Gwen there, just to give it a little bit more of a speed boost combined with her passive, so that engage can be even stronger and the chase down potential so the chase down potential is also there if needed. We do see now the Kraken pushing in full health, 2 turrets standing in the way, one way and one Sync C1, one Tommy out. What can they do? We see the infusion coming out of the guy. There is the Death from Above, does absolutely nothing. Well dodged out by Silver. Does mean that there's the Gauntlet coming down Lakian. There's the Burst of Judgment. Is blocked. Good block there coming out. Wham. Chain do as what he can, but he's taking so much damage from Lakian. Sitting in that backline. 61 up against Tomiya, up against Depression. Is going to be going at Tomiya already dead. Doesn't look good for PH Alliance, and we are going to see that third game as Silver take the game. GG.
That was just a great last fight coming out of PH Alliance. Like there was a prime directive to put Tommy out within the first 2 seconds of the fight. I thought that was absolutely beautiful. Saving Gwen Lexing because the full code was going to kill Gwen. So that was actually really good. MVP of the match and favourite highlight, go.
I actually quite. I'm going to say Lekien. I'm going to say Lekien. I think. Yeah.
For that Gwen.
Yeah, I think so. Did a great job of farming throughout the did an absolutely brilliant job of playing in the carrier. I think Depression is the obvious choice because they were so prominent and so in your face, but I think Lakian just did an amazing job of applying backline damage, allowing for these kills and pickups. And I think that towards the end there as well, that Gwen was just doing so much damage. I just like Lakian, despite killing Wayne while he was AFK.
Despite doing that, wasn't it Arden who got the kill? I can't quite remember actually.
I thought it was Gwen, but maybe Arden might pick it up. I don't know.
I think
he's only got one. I say he's only got one kill. If it was that kill, then that's a bit cheeky of him.
At least he got one. Yeah. So
yes,
yeah. But that was a really good. Obviously, it was an unfortunate AFK coming out from PH Alliance. Obviously, they are known for their internet issues, but they are all very, very good players. Because the thing that really, put the nail in the coffin is when Gwen picked up that full metal jacket and Ringo wasn't doing any attacks. I saw Ringo hit Gwen with a basic attack, and it did less than a 50th of her health. It must have just been so demoralizing for him just to be able to know that he couldn't do any damage to her. So I kind of felt bad for Wayham. But hopefully this match, they're all absolutely fine. They're going to connection will hold, and we'll see a true, proper back and forth match that I know these teams are capable of. It's been 2 one-sided matches now. And now we are going to hopefully see. that equal match-sided thing. But I do believe draft is almost ready to be done. Still haven't got it on my screen, but Mal,
I haven't got it on my screen either. Oh, there we go. It's up now.
There we go. We got the draft. We can see it. So, Mal, what exactly are you expecting out of this one? Standard picks, or are we going to see? Do you think Alpha's just going to get taken out?
Alpha needs banning. Alpha just needs banning at this stage. I think we've seen how well both these teams can use Alpha, and I don't think either team wants to run the risk of the other one getting it. I don't think it's necessarily. I'd say maybe even a first ban. I'd say maybe first ban Alpha forces the second ban to be a Lyra and allows you to pick up an Adagio, or to play around play with the knowledge that you're not going to have to go against an Alpha and you don't have to go against the Lyra. If they don't ban out Lyra as the second ban, then if
free
they don't ban
Lyra.
out Lyra, exactly, and we haven't had the opportunity to see Lyra today because she's been so ban focused, understandably so. Just because she does implement, obviously she offers so much to stay, but it's also the fact that she limits your options. If you're playing against a Lyra, you cannot play Baron, you cannot play Arden, you cannot play a Taka, you cannot play a Koshka, you cannot play an Ozone. So many heroes become limited by the things.
All right. Well, then, let's see how they take it, and let's go into the draft. And look at that. Oh, that was. Mwah. She gave us a lot of time this time. I'm liking that one. She gave us lots of notice. Well done, Mrs. Producer Woman. You are hired once again. And we're going to go into the draft. So let's see if we just see that first man drop, because that's what we're expecting. That would be good draft strategy, in my opinion, just to maybe even secure the Lyra. But you got to remember as well, Adagio might not be worth the first pickup because Adagio has lost the 2 games that he's been in against these guys on both teams.
Yeah, so, Adagio offers a lot of utility, but to the same standard that Lyra is, can be like game breaking, can completely swing these team matches because these are professional players, these are experienced players. They're very efficient and good with the use of their crucibles and blocks, which means that Versus Judgment just doesn't offer the same level of utility that you find in sort of other games, because if you haven't managed to get rid of that crucible of the enemy team prior to that versus Judgment, landing stuns, making the damage effective is extremely difficult to do. But his main priority ends up being the buff and heal sort of thing, and there is an alpha ban first.
Yeah, we knew
predictable. This will be a Lyra, and this will be an
there's the Lyra.
I don't necessarily think that Adagio is necessarily the pick you need here. It's a strong pick, don't get me wrong, but if there is something you'd rather play instead, I don't see why you would worry about it too much. You know that you can beat an Adagio, and you can kind of predict the enemy team are going to pick the Adagio, and if they don't, you get it as a second pick.
They need the Adagio Finn crawl. That's what they need. They need we haven't seen any Finn, and Finn can work quite well. There's the Adagio. I want to see the Adagio Finn crawl. I want to see, because I haven't actually seen the comp in use yet. I want to see if it's as really powerful as all the whispers say. If it's truly as overpowered as people can, let on. What do you think? Do you want to see that, like a new comp, some new heroes? And there's a first pick Ozo. That is cruel. You just pick Cruel and say, if you see an Ozo play Cruel, you win. I'm not kidding. Like, Ozo can't do anything against bruising. It annoys you. You need a healer with Ozo. You need it.
I was just going to say. But yeah, I think the Ozo first pickup, definitely not needed, particularly when you have the next ban anyway. So I would have picked the Lance and banned the Ozo. So you didn't get the Ozo.
I wouldn't have banned Ozo.
Well, because obviously otherwise the enemy team get the Adagio.
Yeah, but then the thing with Ozo is he's hard countered by too many things. You got fortresses, you've got Cruels, like you got Lance. If you have a Lance, you can't play Ozo. You physically cannot play Ozo. But that's a really good strategy right there, taking out the Ardent. So they're very limited on ropes now.
Catherine?
Think of a Fortress. Catherine, no, I would play Fortress with an Ozo, just for full out aggression. Excuse me, I need to cough.
Would you not go? Would you? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I mean, maybe Finn because of the fortified health that you'll get a lot for the Carney luck, because that works with it.
I mean, you could always put Adagio's carry role potentially into a Vox that's horrendous.
Yeah, it would destroy Vox, but I do want to see this Finn. They've gone for the Ringo because Ozo destroys Ringo, but Ringo's quite good against Vox. So it's a meh draft right now. I'm not overly excited by it.
We'll see what they go with this jungler, because the jungler is really going to swing.
I think they should go Cruel. They should go Cruel or Tucker.
Cruel, Tucker. I'd say the Tucker's more likely with what. Koshka is viable, maybe. I don't really know.
It's kind of iffy because Ozo and Koshka do have kind of an equal early game. I'd say Koshka's is stronger, but they do go for the Tucker, much better pick. Yeah, I do like that Tucker pickup. Really good against Ozo. Really good against
Fox.
Again, Fox. So
it's a
hard counter Fox. All they need now is the Fortress. They need a Fortress now, or they have no chance. They need Fortress to be able to get on top of Ringo and to reveal Tucker, essentially. They can't not have the Fortress there. They can't just go for a Finn. They can't go for a Flicker, a Catherine. Those just won't work. Maybe a Finn, maybe, if they're extremely lucky. If they can get a pull and use their Acrobats and the Wait for It together, maybe. But I'm saying Fortress just for full-out aggression to really work with Ozo's early game that he will have over Taka and Ringo. Because they're going to be running him CP, because people like annoying him. I knew it would be. I knew it'd be Catherine, but it's against Taka.
A Rome Fortress would have been nice.
Yeah, Rome Fortress would have been possibly a better pick. I think out of all of them, if I was in that situation, I probably would have picked up Finn because you have more team usage. You have a little bit of like a safety net. But
also, it's really great for pulling Tucker out of that style.
Really great, and of course, pulling in the Ringo, who's really hard to get on top of. But Ozo has pretty much zero troubles getting onto anyone. He will have no hindrance this entire match. And no one will be able to stop him. No one will be able to slow him down. There's no Lance, there's no Arden to slow. You've got the one slow from Adagio's heel. But if he gets slowed by the heel, he just then acrobates uses a 3-ring circus, and he's right where he needs to be. So Ozo will kind of have full flow of this map. But the problem will be then that Taka will destroy Vox, and then they have to be careful because Taka will then go and destroy Ozo. So it's a bit... and I don't like Catherine as a roam this patch. She just doesn't have the same pull that all of the others do, in my opinion. I'm probably wrong. I might get proved wrong this game, but I don't even know. I genuinely don't know how this game is going to go. I think this could be the game that could go either way.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an all-out, all hell breaks loose mentality. Let's go crazy kind of match, and those are the best matches to watch. Because this is going to be, I think, both teams, they've got, one apiece. They've got everything to fight for. I imagine Wham is really annoyed that he got killed AFK last game, and he wants to show him who's boss this time round. Lekien on the Ringo this time, and Wham going to be playing that Fox. So it's going to be, obviously, it'll be, I think, given current meta and the way we've seen it play, it's going to be the CPO and the weapon power Vox. But it's, hey, they could quite easily do it the other way around.
Oh, no, that would be so much worse. That would be really bad. I think double weapons would be second. But the way they're doing it right now, I can see a CP Ozo working. Come late game when Ringo can take on the Ozo, I don't see it working anymore. But this is P8 Alliance on this Ozo. This is Tomiya. He's not exactly a bad jungler in any way, shape, or form. I would put him in my top 5 junglers of SEA by far. And there's actually quite a few to pick from in professional play. So Tomiya is not to be sniffed at. But Wayham is definitely in my top 3 of laners. So against Lei Qiang and Wayham, I'd probably put them 3 and 4. So this is definitely it's going to be such a good matchup. It just feels so equal all over, apart from in jungle. But I can't tell. The thing is, my mind's saying, would Taka win or would Ozo win? So it feels like it should be uneven, but I don't know which side is better. This is what's confusing me. This is why this is going to be so good.
I mean, Depression has been playing extremely well throughout the games, to be fair. We've not seen... Well. No, we haven't seen, I was going to say, we've not seen amazing plays, but we've not seen overly terrible plays either. And I think just solid plays for the most part. But now with everything on the line and with a advantage in playing Taka over Ozo. Taka being obviously a pick that 90% of junglers are fairly comfortable playing, to a decent standard. You now see Kilo coming into lane to do a little bit of damage to Sync C1. Bubble does go up, but it isn't going to do much to stop that damage coming through. Lekien, though, already on half health, but with Kilo nearby, he'll soon be healed up nicely, as you see that sustain coming through.
Yeah, so I think it's just going to be kind of a slowish early game, but as I say that, you see Depression straight into Ozo's backs, not even caring. Will he steal them though? That is the question. He did get hit with a little portion of the acrobats. Who's going to get it? And it's going to be Tomiya. Tomiya does get his backs, but here's Kilo to try and heal up Depression. But Tomiya is Ozo at the end of the day. He will be able to keep himself alive, and he has found Depression with it. And there we go. Look at that damage onto the Adagio. First one, so going towards the Ozo. Depression will pick up the kill of the Ozo though, and now it's going to be Taka who will fall to the Vox. So 1 kill traded apiece in that fight, and boom! Essentially, just boom. That was absolutely really well. No, it was 2-1. It was 2-1. I apologise because the dash. So there you go. And now they're going back into lane, and it's just feeling like that was a little bit. I think that was too much for no kind of payoff. I think that was a little bit too much aggression right there. Taka went a little bit too far ahead and didn't even get any farm to show for it. So that's got to be salt in the wounds right there.
Yeah, if you're taking that risk, there needs to be, even if things had gone completely well, really much reward to be gained from that. He was in a position where he was likely to die regardless, going in that deep, especially in these early stages of the game where he hasn't got that many points into his B, and it's not going to be on the lowest of cooldowns. Obviously building weapon power as well, it's not going to be the greatest of stealths in the world, but it's going to be effective. As we see Kilo call out here by PH Alliance, 3 versus 2 in the jungle. Wrong place, wrong time, but he is going to manage to just float away on those wings. Tomiya now in in the wrong place as well, and suppression trying to find him. However, Lekian has put in an appearance, and William is taking. Kilo is going to go down though. Lots of damage coming out from that Ozo. We're seeing him being utilised effectively as Tucker does manage to pick up the Vox in the backline. Doesn't really want to be coming back into that jungle. We do see lots of bouncing around coming out of that Ozo, and that's beautiful play there from him to pick up the Tucker in return. I don't know why Tucker went back into that bush and tried another attempt at him, given he knows he was 1 versus 2, and
he kitened over the last acro bounce. That's why I went, whoa. He dodged them to do damage, but it wasn't enough.
No, he did not save his life. But he managed to get a successful kill point in the game. Whatever decision he made, unfortunately cost him his life. He did allow for another kill pick up onto the side of PH Lions.
Yeah, it was a really good engagement. When you first patch out a team in the early game, it just the fight was going away, especially with the Ozo in the early. Like I do hate on CP Ozo quite a lot. And I kind of do it semi in jest because I am like the biggest Ozo fan there ever will be. And it's more that I find weapon power better. But you're seeing right here that CP Ozo has one of the best early games in the world. He just kind of just out damages everything. So if they can keep this momentum going and just do that damage, and I hope he builds Shadow Glass. I really hope he builds a Shadow Glass just for the massive damage, and then it should be okay. But look at this, he's going back in yet again. It's going to go onto Lei Qiang for a lot of damage. He only has the click through his hands and just a little light crystal bit, and he did over half health for the third bounce of the acro bounce and just one string of his 3-ring circuit. That was absolutely cool. And then he's going to get stunned again and bounce on Lei Qiang. You're dead, I'm afraid. And look at that Ozo damage. I'm starting to see now why he's so banned, because SCA are playing.
I was literally thinking that. I was literally just thinking. Yeah, no, you can see that when he's used effectively, incredibly strong, especially in this early game stage, because off the shield. 3-ring circus is going to allow him to pick up another kill there, onto the kill. Reducing depression, trying to do his best, and Mortal Wound put down onto 61. Depression is, though, however, going to be banging around right back into the fight and is going to go down. And that's going to be Vox picking up that kill on Tucker. 8-2 in kills in favour of PH Alliance now. They are putting down their dominant foot on this early stage of this game.
Yeah, like, this is why, Ozo was like this strong for the last 2 patches. And it's like only very recently that people have been playing the guy. So if you're scared of Ozo SEA, just play Cruel. Seriously, Cruel. Ozo can't do nothing in a Cruel. He's like a useless character if Cruel is played. Cruel, and I'd probably say a weapon power alpha, just for the consistent like lifesteal, not the overall damage, to like out sustain that Ozo. So if you're worried about Ozo, just play Cruel. You'll be alright. You'll be alright. I promise you. Come on, I want to see some Cruel SCA. I'm going to harp on about this for years, Mal. I want to see some Cruel.
Which hero would you like to see more of?
I'm going to have to say Saw. I think Saw would be, 100%. Maybe some Flicker, I think. Yeah. I don't want to see...
You need Flicker alone.
What? I want to see more Flicker. Probably. Good. Not really, at all. Even slightly.
I like Flicker. I think I've got something like an 8% win rate on.
I
play at a much lower tier than you.
Yes, you do. Yes, definitely. You suck.
Oh, dude. Don't be that cruel on stream. Okay, it's accurate.
Oh, wow.
Cool. That was so much damage. Good synchronization there of the ultimates coming out from the PH Alliance. And that... Tom here is a machine on the thing. Good block there. He's going to stop the further engage. There's the acro bounce coming back and forth. 3-ring circus is going to be coming in. It isn't going to be quite enough. Fountain is forced out of the PH Alliance team by Sinxi1. And Wham, meanwhile, is still looking pretty healthy overall. Tomia is going to back off. Sinxi1 not in a position to really do much about it. He is going to be able to land a quick stun if needed. We do see the Tucker is going to re-engage onto Tomia. There's a good flare out, and that is going to be a lot of damage coming out. Hellfire Breed does that, blocked effectively by Tomia. Does manage to use, oh my god, so much damage coming down, but the burst of jump was perfectly timed to for that engagement from Tomia. But now that Ozo has an aftershock, and that Vox has a Tyrant's Monocle. So beware. Beware.
Booing the aftershock pickup. Boo.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just a little bit too.
That was brilliant. That was genius.
just coming in, stopping, going back in, stopping, going back in instead. As the rhythm of the flow. That was the rhythm of the night right there.
I was 6-1. Literally just walked in, was like, boop, mine. Mercy's Pursuit just takes away that gold mine in favour for PH Alliance. That was a lovely pickup there. As Contraption now over onto the Catherine, and we do see that basically they already have a dominant sort of vision over the jungle area. We saw this happening last game, and we've seen it happen basically throughout the tournament. You know, other teams take note. If you control the jungle and you manage to get the win in these team fights, you're going to win the game. And it is consistently the case that the team with the most vision does win the game, or the most effective vision. Huge banger.
That's the highest chance of winning the game.
Yeah, there you go. You're more likely to win the game. There is the three-ring circus onto the Tomia, though, taking from everything and everyone, is going to go down to the turret. That's been picked up by Adagio on that one. It trades out 1-for-1 in the end, as both the remaining members of PH Alliance back off. But yeah, they are currently sitting on approximately 3k gold lead with 10 kills to 4. Most of those kills, I've got to say, are currently sitting on that Ozo. So, you know, you can see why he's been such a focused ban throughout things. And to be fair, this is one of the few times we've seen him working in favour of a team when he doesn't have a healer. It's very rare, like you say, to see him being used this effectively and getting this far into the game so very well without having a healer present. So, you know, kudos to PH Alliance for making this work so very well. But yeah, you can see why he's been a focused ban most of this tournament.
Yeah, he is playing very well. He built a very tanky motor, which I haven't actually tried before. I've always done the burst damage, snowball as fast as possible, because that's just my playstyle. But we see Tomia just going for that tank. He's got the Aegis burst. He's a little bit more worried of the tanker, just that mortal wound damage already. And he didn't. Oh, am I good?
Yeah,
okay, I'm
back.
There we go. Okay, it just has a little blip. It's just a little blip because this guy over here is playing some online games. Thanks, dude. But anyway, we are back and we are good. So, as I was saying about Ozo, he's building quite tanky, so he can not only get in, use the lifesteal that he has now, quite kind of late on in the game, for him to get it, like 10 minutes in, and it's going well for Ozo essentially. If he gets an Atlas Pauldron, that Ringo is dead in the water essentially.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think we saw last game when we saw Ringo played into the Gwen, just how little damage Ringo was doing once that portal had been built, and just that effective defense coming out. And if they don't really, you know, things like a Bonesaw and items like that are not really picked up. So once you've got effective armor, it's very difficult for a Ringo to kind of really burn someone down fast if they have built around it.
Yeah, and now they're just trying to farm out now. It's a very good point. I do want to see more Bonesaw, but the war treads were used, and there's the background. I think just to get on top of it, it's going to land on the finger. I think he's been healed already by the Adagio. He's trying to go on the flank on that line. Actually, I think he landed onto Catherine there, but Taka is just giving Wayham some troubles, and Tommy is going to fall because he dived a little bit too deep there. And Depression is just taking no damage from this Vox right now. Will Vox win? No, he won't. Taka will get it, and this is going to be Sync 1 trying to get away, but that's Nick Yang. He's got his stutter step on point. Gonna stun him out because and Sync 1 will fall too. Look like the Crystal Sentry got him actually. So there you go. There's a nice ace for Silver. Like I said, I wanted this game to be close, and is this a closer game than any?
Yeah, this is definitely looking like a close. Obviously, despite that dominant performance, PH Alliance, the gold is very, very close still. Only about 2k in it, and with this gold mine pickup, it's going to get even closer still. Meanwhile, in lane, we can see the attempts on the thing. There's the jump in from. Whoa, okay, we have a star going on my client there. It should be okay. We can see Lakian going very low there. There, he is going to go down. Everything is moving rather slowly for me. We do see a Ozo jumping around there. Fountain has by Kilo, trying to keep himself alive. It isn't going to be effective enough as we do see Fox taking it down, that Adagio. PH Alliance returning back to form straight after that, not letting that previous ace affect them too much as they fight back to pick up another 2 kills. They are now going to push in onto this turret, do what they can to try and push that gold lead even further now after Silver tried to defiantly pull it back. I think PH Alliance basically going, all right, we'll give you guys a bit of hope, and now we're going to take it away again.
We're just going to feed the bounties. That's all we're going to do. And then we're going to wreck your face. If only that were the case, and it wasn't just a mistake. We can live in fantasy, can't we? Now?
We can indeed.
We can. Thank you for the great tidbit there. Thanks for that. Thanks for helping me out. Just don't go quiet when I make bad jokes. You just go quiet and just let the awkward silence linger in the air. Like,
I'll be honest. I kind of wish I had like. I'm gonna get like a soundboard so that it can play cricket sound. That like for a few, or have like the sound ready so that when you play it, I'm gonna be quiet and just play the cricket sound down my microphone, or like the sound of like the wind blowing, just to let you linger there.
Just hear a hay vent.
Yeah.
Vainglory has been used, and that is Kilo. Called out. Just coming out soon. He does get picked up by the O2 third dash bounce, and that's going to be pressed in a bad way as Vox has picked the kill on the Ringo. Oh, a fantastic versus just as he uses Taku, and that is also picking up the third kill, on Taku, and that is another turret that will go down. And Kraken, by the time they get the Kraken pick, Kraken will be a spawning, but they managed to get 2 turrets out of this push. They're definitely going for it. I'm pretty sure minions may actually spawn before they get there. They won't. So that's going to be 2 turrets. Will they go for the third? Will they go for the trifecta? But, Mr. Producer Lady? Okay. After this match, we've just been told by our lovely Mrs. Producer Lady, she has a wonderful voice, Mrs. Producer Lady, that the last match, our last set, will be only viewed on Mob Crush. We can only apologise. Technical difficulties are a thing. And who will be talking to us? Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. Oh, yes. Oh, okay. Lovely, but let's go around. Ending the stream on Facebook, sorry. So next match after this match we'll be ending the stream on Facebook, so we'll just be keeping the matches on Mob Crush. But yeah, Mal, this game is looking more and more like PH Alliance, isn't it?
It is, yeah. PH Alliance, you know, they had a little bit of a blip there in the middle, but they've just been caught out really hard down. Kilo is going to be going down effectively. So that's 3 ultimates down for 1 kill. However, at this point, this late in the game, 1 kill is enough to start turning their attention to that Kraken, and will be enough to kind of put them you know, a team-based numbers advantage. We do see that trap being put down into that bush as well. Scout traps. Really good vision. I mean, look at that map being lit up right now. That is a great vision coming out from PH Alliance, and they feel extremely confident in taking this Kraken right now because they are, you know, fully aware that there is no one nearby, and that if they do engage, they're at a 3-2 disadvantage. So that they can potentially end the game if they get that ace. So we do see now that the whole of Team Silver are up. Now, with a Kraken and 3 members of PH Alliance coming down, skill traps being laid down by Kilo in the base to try and do what little they can. This is the final stand.
This is the final stand of this epic climactic game. I mean, can Silver hold this one back? I mean, we've seen weirder things happen. We have seen stranger comebacks, and I really hope, just for the sake of the match that they do, Sink one playing an amazing cannon, and here comes the Mega Man, follow up on the way for it. 90 done, and anti-attack is on silenced by that. It's over the box right now as we see Ozo almost picking up the kill on Kilo, but oh, Paul Wayham is right at the back. He's trying to fight the pressure on his own. He's doing actually extremely well, but here comes the Expensive. Will he pick up the kill? No, he won't. Ozo gets the double kill, and he does actually pick up the kill on the box with the mortal wound. Oh, poor Taka though. Taka's going to be doing anything. He does get stunned out. That will be Taka falling to 488 crystal damage on the third X-Bounce, and that is going to be PH Alliance bringing this game back from, you know, just awesome plays to this Ozo. That is definitely Maleficarum. GG.
GG indeed. Wow, what a comeback, man. That was exactly the game that you called.
What a comeback.
Well, comeback, they were 1 game down, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I did say.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I was laughing because you said I was right. I just like that feat. My head gets big.
You must hear it. You must hear it a lot with your head being as big as it is. Okay.
Oh, now it's just deflating. It's deflating now.
Womp womp. Yeah, great stuff there from both teams, but congratulations to PH Alliance on their victory in that series. Billy, what were your thoughts?
Amazing. Awesome. Those are my thoughts. You can talk, Mrs. Producer Lady. We're just going to talk over you because they can't hear you.
Yeah, because they can't hear you.
So yeah, that game was fantastic. We are just continuing. What we're going to do though is we're going to continue the stream on World Cup. Obviously, the Facebook stream will have to end. And what we're going to do.